Yo, what's going on? This is Mike.
Yo, this is Don.
And this is our first episode of our podcast called Focus on the Stars. What's the acronym?
FOTS.
FOTS. You know what I'm saying? FOTS pod. You heard?
The FOTS pod.
So just a little bit about
That's funny.
the name of the show. First of all, we got the name of the show from one of our clients, Chicle, right?
Yeah.
As managers, we're managers. We focus on the stars, which is the clients, but also Don and I are also mindset individuals. So we want you to focus on the stars. We don't want you to have a ceiling. So it's kind of like a double entendre, especially that we focus and deeply rooted in hip hop.
See, my man got he got the double entendres.
You know what I mean?
I didn't have to look up in a dictionary for that. So it was good.
Yeah, because I used to spit back in the days.
Nah, for sure. So I mean, yo, man, this is a special day today too.
No, for sure. Let me do that.
Okay.
Because I don't like when people say do their own stuff.
Yeah.
So it is my brother,
Know what I mean?
my spiritual brother.
Know what I'm saying?
It is his birthday.
With our first pod, you heard? Now, big Virgo. Know what I mean?
I'm saying? Caramel Virgo out here.
Yeah, that's a caramel Virgo, you know? Yeah.
This is dope, bro. You know, I love you, bro. Seriously, I'm so happy. You know what I mean? That we here doing this, and I think it's very, very special.
Sure.
On your birthday, we do a lot of special things.
I know.
If you recall.
Yes.
Right? Last year
year,
on his birthday,
Yeah.
what did we do?
we had a meeting in Rock Nation.
Right? So things from last year to now have definitely gone crazy. But we can
Changed.
speak about that through the layers. But
Yeah.
let me tell you guys about kind of like who we are, what we do. Where I am an older gentleman, even though it's his birthday. Older gentleman. We're managers. We came from the music industry, got into this influencer business. And like I said, I know I joked about it, but we deeply rooted in the hip hop culture.
That's a fact.
And how we view influencers and content creators are like the new versions of hip hop, right? The new artists. But Don and I here are the protectors, and that's kind of how we came together.
Like the bodyguards.
Exactly.
The guardians.
Exactly. We protect the individuals. We protect the brand. So a little bit about the company. The company is called This Group. It stands for trust, honesty, integrity, and success. Those are the pillars of our company, the pillars of how Don and I are, and how we feel is that trust, honesty, and integrity will lead to your success. We have a lot of things that we will be doing with our company, a lot of things we want to do for the industry.
Yeah.
This is something that I think we had to step out and kind of be in front of the camera and give a lot of information. We've kept it for our people, but it's like, you know, he and I, our energies are amazing, not saying anything.
I mean,
but
on top of that too, this is like, you know, people been telling us, yo, you guys need to start a podcast.
yeah,
It's crazy because we didn't think about that. We always thinking from behind the camera, not more in front of it. So this is definitely a stepping stone for us, especially me, man. I don't know, man. Cameras is weird for me, man.
yeah,
I
you
used to
good
duck
though.
cameras, but now
But we've been doing a couple of pods. You good? You good.
Yeah.
You out here?
I'm a little bit.
Nah, you out here.
Yeah,
You out
a
here,
little
and definitely want to appreciate Gaba. I'm sure you see him. He's producing everything now.
Yes.
For us, this dude is
God,
like
the creator.
the Cole Bennett, the Pete Rock, my era, the let's see, the Hit Boy,
Dr.
producer.
Dre.
He's
Know
doing
what I mean?
everything.
We out
And
here.
here with Juan in the other room, we always got to shout out our people because we
Yes.
always say, you know, that the team is everything
Sure.
for us. With this pod, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna speak a lot about not only our industry. We're gonna have hip hop. We're gonna have just, you know, topics, things that kind of intertwine with the business. Don and I are just regular dudes. When Don and I were speaking,
We're a little more than regular, but yeah.
I'm just saying, just like, you know what? Seriously, remember when?
We're not back of the line regular.
Yeah. Just like you can relate to us. Trust me.
We're like in the middle of the line regular.
Business class
Yeah,
regular.
you know what
We
I'm
work
saying?
in the first class.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
We were on the phone the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and we were speaking about this. No pun intended. And I want you to like kind of let people know kind of where you saw this pod as far as, hey, you know, there's all the millionaire kind of guys,
Yeah.
remember? And you had said, and I think that's definitely where what we're doing.
Oh yeah. So when we were talking, everybody sees and talks about the guys that makes millions of dollars. Everybody makes millions of dollars. Everybody does these crazy deals. But what about the guy or the girl or the woman, whoever, essentially makes thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars that still provides for their family, but haven't reached that million mark yet. But they make a good size amount of income that they're able to take care of their family. So I think that's essentially who we are in some sense of the word. Yeah. You know what I mean? Not trying to pocket watch us, but you know, we're fairly successful. But nevertheless, though, what about those individuals? Because we've been those individuals for a number of years, you know, making decent money, taking care of our family, not punching a clock for somebody else, 100%. But able to create a business in this entertainment business and then vastly expand at a rate that, you know, is mind-blowing to some people because we dump the money back into the business, whatever we make.
100%.
So I think that's who we're talking to. We're talking to those individuals that hasn't made, you know, the millions of dollars yet because everybody speaks to the people that makes tens and millions, but we're going to speak to the guys and girls that create the opportunities and still have a good life.
Yeah, and that's where we're going. We're going, like, our goal is the millions, right? I want to say that we've been involved in over millions of dollars.
Yeah.
As far as for the company, like Don said, I think that was very important because I think that's a space that's not out, right? Because everybody wants that quick, instant gratification, and they want to speak to a million. How you get there? But like what Don said, that's why I thought it was just so profound, and it was kind of like hit the nail on the head. Is listen, you got to make $1,000 first, then you got to make 10,000, and you have a regular job. I had a regular job. Don had a regular job, and then it's like now, like you said, we're providing for our families, and we're providing for the people around us. Where this is what we do every single day, and we're not millionaires yet.
Yeah. I mean, you know, our company might be there. And I think that's where people get the difference is that when your company, the company's worth whatever it's worth because of what we put back into the company, opposed to what the owners or the founders or whoever makes, right? But we're showing you that this is how the ground up. With us creating this company during pandemic, right? Because this is also another thing too. We created this company during pandemic. I don't know, it's like 3 years ago now.
Yeah, it's
about to be 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And while going through that process was very, even in itself, we didn't know where the space was going. All we did know was that the influencer space was going bananas because everybody was home. So the content creation, either if it was at 100%, it was at 1,000% because you were able to now just create from home and make money from home. So we had to kind of like switch our mindset from not just being on the streets, but also making sure that we are covering the grounds from the internet, like footprint aspect.
Yeah, and telling it the way that we tell it, because there's a lot of times you see there's classes, and we have an education initiative. Again, we'll go into this throughout this. You know, there's a lot of things that we're gonna show. Don and I really wanted to do this also to show the consistency.
Word.
Right? Like it's like you also have to be that role model. You have to be what you're trying to teach.
That's a fact.
So it's like we can't sit there and if somebody wants to do a pod, one of our clients, and say, hey, you got to be consistent.
And we're not.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So we want to kind of show and not show and prove. I'd probably like to say show and educate because, again,
I like that.
We're usually like the uncles in the room.
Not me.
And everybody knows that. Everybody knows how we are and how we lean and we lead with giving and helping.
Nah, for sure. But look at it too. Like even with that, we're with everything that we got going on, all the meetings that we have, talking to this company, this other company, speaking to all these big institutions about how we're gonna help change or bring some type of culture into their basis. We now saying like we're gonna start a pod. So now we dedicating the time to make sure that we're also doing that as well. Like making sure that we're like, listen, we're doing all of this for you guys, but we're also going to put out information for free
100%
to help people get to the next level from the content creation space. Because a lot of people's talking about, financial literacy, how to make it in the music business, to do all these things. And there's a bunch of other, content creation, how to be a content creator, but there's not a pod of managers I've saw. It may be out there, but we haven't saw it, that speaks about the business that's also we actually are the managers. We own the agency, we own the marketing company, we own the space. So we're talking from the aspect of the owner's box, not trying to flex on nobody, but little specs. And then but we're talking from that side and still on the ground, on boots, boots to the ground, working the processes of going through, knocking on these doors to make change. So it's still a bunch of we're still in the growing phases, and it's looking promising. I mean, there's always some type of challenge, but we've been through our faith and everything else. We've been kind of leaping over those things. So
Exactly. And we're coming from, we've done this,
Facts.
right? We're not going to talk about things we haven't done, right? We have goals. Our dreams are not dreams anymore. They're goals because we're setting certain situations that we want to do, right? And the whole thing is that I keep going back to that is, we're not going to talk about anything that we haven't done, touched, right?
Word.
Pause. Got better, John.
I love it.
Better, John. But the thing is that for us, people are always concerned with numbers, right? Yep. So the numbers so that you can understand who we are and what we've dealt with. We've definitely dealt with millions of dollars worth of deals, situations. That's for sure. We have access to probably with our management. We manage about 15 maybe. Yep, and then we have representation of about 350 million in social media reach.
For sure.
More importantly, to tell you kind of about us, we've probably turned down over $1 million in business.
A little bit more than that, but yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's just being conservative.
Because that's just so you understand that this is not just a money play for us. Yeah. There is money in here and there are transactions, but we're just a different type of animal
company.
You know what I mean? We're just this is what we do. And through these pods, I don't want to kind of again bore people, but you'll start to see the layers of who Don is, who I am, who the company is. In the first pod, you got to kind of say, hey, these are the numbers, and this is what we dealt, and name all the companies that we've dealt with. We've dealt with the Hulus and the Netflix and the Red Bulls and the Nike and all this type of stuff, and we'll speak about our summer in a little bit, but it's just, hey, this is us. We're here. You can, as far as on IG, like we definitely want to be interactive.
Yep.
So on IG at FOTS Pod, you heard
the FOTS Pod.
Is it or is it
sorry.
FOTS? I think it's FOTS, right? It's just FOTS, right?
FOTS Pod. My bad.
FOTS Pod. FOTS.
I'm learning etiquette.
Pod.
FOTS Pod.
So you can always
focus on the stars.
You can always DM us or whatever for any questions or whatever, because we'll probably have a segment. Again, this is the first one, but
for sure.
We're here for y'all. But aside from that, before we get into our summer, I do want you to speak about InvestFest, right? And now, before you go down there, because you're gonna lead into this, right? Don went to InvestFest, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yo, this group, we out here, right?" And before he went down, pause.
Hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo.
What did I tell you?
You said that you think that there's going to be something that comes out from InvestFest when I go down. You said, I have a feeling that you're going to go and you're going to meet somebody and it's going to come back and it's going to bring back some type of opportunity for the company.
Before
I left.
Before he went to Atlanta. Let me be more detailed. Before he went to
Atlanta, yeah.
So now I'm going to pass it to you so you can kind of tell everybody.
So InvestFest, the greatest thing about that is that it's two guys from New York City. I'm gonna start there. That started a company during pandemic, but they've been doing this, teaching and all that stuff for years. And essentially, this is like a transition into who they are, which is freaking amazing. And the best part about that was going down and kind of seeing that. So you get to the Georgia World Congress Center. If I messed it up, my apologies. It's just a huge place. And you go sign up. So, we had, VIP treatment. So I was on the VIP line. You know what I mean? Got to throw these little things in a little bit, I was on the VIP line. And you register, but there's a lot of people. And I'm like, man,
Not a lot of people with VIP though, right?
Yeah, actually, people out there making some money.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people in the VIP. You know what I'm saying? But the longer line was the other people. But anyway. But nevertheless, though, the fact that the way it was organized, I just definitely take my hat off to them because whoever they had help run the show, they definitely were able to do such. Just getting there at first was kind of overwhelming, especially for certain people that didn't know what to expect. It was amazing. It was just an amazing and smooth process to get all your credentials. Mm-hmm. And after that, you get to walk around a little bit, and then they had a VIP night.
You were there?
Listen, man.
I'm just making sure, guys.
I was at the VIP night. Ja Rule was there. Jim Jones was there. One of my new favorite artists, Simba, was there. You know what I mean? It was amazing, right? So, but hold on, though. Hold on. So I'm in there, Rashad walking through the crowd with a security guard. And I don't know, I never met him before, but it looked like, when you saw somebody, you're like, oh, he looked familiar. Like he moved the people out the way and was like, what up, bro? I was like, oh, what up? Word. I was like, that's good. I felt good. And as soon as he left, then everybody threw their cameras in my face. Who are you? I was like, oh, well, this group founder, co-sale. I started going into my spiel, but the fact that he was approachable, which was good. He wasn't being, clearly he had a bodyguard, but he was walking around talking to the people. And not for nothing, not everybody was trying to hear him. They were focused on the stage of what was going on and people talking about financial literacy.
Right.
They were able to walk through the crowd of the InvestFest and really not be bothered as much. Everybody was they had their notes. Everybody was there focused on getting ahead some way, somehow. That was definitely, I saw that when I was there because I wasn't really focused on the people that were there. Them. I was focused on just more so the information and just actually the networking aspect from this. That's one of the biggest things is that your network you got to network. Networking is one of the biggest keys to the next phase because you can go to these events, these parties, or, and when I say parties, I don't mean in the sense of like a regular party. You may go to a party and everybody in there is millionaires and you're like, okay, if there's 20 of these people in here, somebody's going to give me some money, help me, advance my business, or I could bring value to them so I can advance my business. And that's essentially how I looked at it. I was able to meet amazing people. I met Ian Dunlap, the master investor. Dude's energy is like crazy. Amazing guy. Definitely was moving around, speaking to people. You don't know who's who. Right. Because everybody, it was a sweat box. No. They had AC in there, but man, it was like I just jumped out of the pool. Yeah. Nah, for real, like ridiculously sweaty, crazy. The women, it was like typical, like down south. They fans, they were their fans, bro. It was one of those things, but it was definitely a lot of networking going on that day, that night for the first night, and then it goes into the weekend, and these you talking about 25,000 plus people, in and out, no issues.
That's huge, bro.
The marketplace, the marketplace. You had Robert F. Smith. I've seen him before. Before everybody started talking about him, I've seen him before, speaking before. Richest black man in America. This was maybe several years ago. I just Googled richest black man in America, and then started doing my research on who people are. Then and then Steve Harvey was there. Puff was there giving the information. We have a situation with Puff, with Revolt. So I was listening to the conversation and him talk about his thing going on with De Leon and how he was able to take a company that I think wasn't even moving. I think it was moving
I saw something like that.
2.5 million cases, or probably less. And he did it, and it blew it up to like 400 million. Like understanding that the power that we have, it was essentially that. The crypto space, they had just a whole wide variety of individuals talking about a bunch of things. The biggest part, though, is that you get to come outside and kind of see for yourself that people are here to get the information.
Yeah, and I think that's key, especially like going back to the whole culture, right?
Yep.
Like this is coming from the culture, which is huge, and the fact that there was no issues, and the fact that you said, which again, this is the first time I'm hearing you say that, where Rashad was going through, and he is like him and Troy are like the guys,
for sure,
and that people are more paying attention to the information, which is huge, and to me that shows a shift in the culture in itself, because we're so addicted to attention and clout, and it's like, oh, I want to see this, and somebody wants to be able to just be let me take the selfie with Rashad, but people are like, yeah, cool, I want the information. I think that's huge,
bro. That's why when he came and dapped me up, I was like, oh, what's up, bro? But it was almost like, when I guess you exude a certain type of energy, certain people's, it kind of attracts.
100%.
But from that, I just took that energy source and just started going around. And you know how we do. Once we get in a room, I'm going into everybody's face. What you do, shake my hand. My name is such and such. I'm just start talking to everybody. Yeah. And essentially, that's what this weekend was. People that came there to have they had fun. They got information. All they got to do now is apply it, and hopefully they did apply it.
Yeah.
The marketplace was amazing. They had game shows in there. Like I guess there was this like influencer, like she's a tax person, but she made a game show. It was fire. Like you click the link, you click the button to act. It's like Jeopardy, and she was asking tax questions about businesses, and that was amazing. So the best part about this is that they were able to showcase what Black business will look like. And the thing is, I'm looking forward for it to be even more expanded to brown and Black. And one of the reasons why is because, yes, it was about Black, but our communities are so tight knit. It wasn't a strong Latino presence in there,
right.
But there was some.
Right.
But I think it's us as a community, because it's the hip hop way. We can kind of like make this thing a little bit bigger from a standpoint, from commerce standpoint, with us doing business with each other,
100%.
and then also too with something like this kind of conference. It's definitely, I would recommend it to anybody that goes, just to but do your best and save up and get that VIP pass, because you'll get access to a bunch of other things, and on top of that too, you get to meet a bunch of people that you will probably never have met. And if that's if you're trying to scale business, remember, everybody's coming there for the pitch.
Right.
Remember that. They're not coming there just because I'm like, yeah, I'm chilling. They know that at least every fifth person is going to be pitching something, and they're coming there to do such. And I met Myq Rashid. He's mad. He's like a bodybuilder dude. He's from Brooklyn.
Look like me a little bit.
No. He's a little darker than you, but he's definitely
a little darker. But he didn't say nothing about the physique, so we good. He's darker than me. It's all right.
So,
go ahead.
But dude is definitely on the frequencies. Actually, one of the reasons why I've been, I don't see it yet, but soon I'll be out here looking jacked. And but definitely had a conversation with him as well. So there is just more so of the empowerment aspect of who we are in our communities, and I think InvestFest definitely captured that. And I love
that. I just want to piggyback on a couple of things. The fact that you said as far as the Black and brown thing, I think that's something that Don and I are doing. And again, I don't know if anybody is out there, because we definitely see the Black companies, Black initiative, Latino companies, Latino initiative. I don't know how many you have a Black and a brown man at the helm, and that's something even for us. What we do, as much as we can do as far as controlling, like, we don't like to go into those initiatives. We like just people to be themselves, and that's the hip hop way. Like, you've been seeing a lot of videos, about, hey, Blacks and Spanish were at the beginning. They created hip hop, like, and that's some people, they want to argue or disagree or whatever, but when you look back at the history, it was Black and Spanish there at the forefront.
In the Bronx.
The other thing, the Bronx especially. Also, something that Don had just touched on something, on, he was like, yo, going down there, it was for networking purposes.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people out here, especially younger generation, want to be in the room of, hey, I was at this party, I was at that party, just to say that you were there, just to put in your story, yo, here at this and this and that. But anytime that you're in these situations, you should always be networking. Always be networking, so that you don't know who's there, what the person could be. You at the bar grabbing something, you grabbing a drink or whatever. Always, when you're handling yourself like a business, if you're just going to have fun and do it, that's cool. But from a business standpoint, you should always be networking, because you just never ever know. Because like I had told Don, that the feeling that I had. And Don going down there, because he and we always say, put us in the room, it's a wrap.
Yeah, for sure.
And he came back, and we have, 5 or 6 meetings. We've had calls already from him being down there doing what he's doing.
And shout out to Chas, Chas.
Oh, hell yeah.
Our PR, man. She's I call her a tsunami, man. She goes into a room and she like covers ground like no other. So it was dope to see the team. It was obviously we represent the whole team when we was down there, but it was the both of us working the room, and it was definitely interesting to see us cover the ground and come back with the information, and then even come back and bring the person that we were talking to, like, hey, I want to speak. This is such and such. I just met. This is Don, or this is Chas, and essentially it became an unspoken like team thing that for the
yeah.
weekend. So I definitely InvestFest. I definitely recommend it for anybody else that's for next year. Definitely save up and get that experience. You'll come back from it a different person. I know I have.
Don was 1A and 1D on the comeback.
Not,
It's an inside joke.
Yeah, inside joke.
But you know what I mean? He did what he had to
comeback.
do. And I guess
Yeah, 1A and 1D on the comeback.
on the
I
comeback.
want y'all to get that. You know what I mean?
But you know, that was heavy as far as, you know, a big situation for the company this summer. August was super crazy for us.
I'm like ridiculously crazy.
Yeah, like we were planting seeds and there was a lot of things that were happening, and August was huge for us as a company. To the point where, you know, I grew up hearing about balance, right? You always got to balance things. But as I've gotten older, I've realized for what we want to do, you have to have some sort of sacrifice. You can't balance, right?
Always.
So, and me being 48, right? Just seriously learning and coming through with
this guy likes dropping his age. You heard?
coming through with these things. It's like, you know, I had on my side of the family, it was a family vacation.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, listen, I'm sorry, I can't go this year. Right? It was something that my mom, my stepfather, we were all supposed to go get together, and I love it. Me.
Yeah. No,
we family guys.
Yeah, family guys.
But couldn't do it. You know, we have stuff to do. And for me, literally what I told my mom, I was like, there's no way that this month, how this is happening, I can't leave Don just, go ahead, B.
Nah,
I'm going to
sure.
be putting my feet up and, you know what I mean, chilling.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of things going on in August, and then in 1 week, all of it rolled out.
For sure.
Right? We had the Paper Planes content series, Guide to the Outdoors with Chico Millennium, which was amazing. We shot that, I don't know, months ago.
Yeah.
In the woods.
In the woods in Jersey.
Yeah, we was out there. Cabo was there.
Cabo was there.
Sweating our asses off.
We definitely was sweating.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know, and
I'm happy we didn't have to climb up any waterfalls.
Nah. And that was great. Shout out to Paper Planes,
Paper
like
Planes.
Drew, T, Miles, like,
and the whole squad. Thank you.
The energy is just crazy over there. So, you know, you'll probably be seeing some more stuff that we do with Planes. O-Blocks, our BMX influencer who's running the city.
Not BMX. It's like what do we call him? A street wheelie.
I don't know. My man does a lot of stuff that I can't do.
Yeah,
he does a wheelie from here to Brooklyn
he
and comes back.
like 70 miles. But like he's riding regularly. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's doing his thing. An amazing individual, and he had a shoot for Ethica. Ethica, where something's coming in September. They're gonna have something with Foot Locker.
We're in September, so
yeah, you know what I mean. Oh, that's right. End of this month. At the end of this month,
with Foot Locker.
Yeah,
we can say it because I mean, it's come out. When does this come out? It's come out. No, don't say it.
All right. We won't say it.
All right, cool.
You'll see it.
All right.
If Gabo wants to say, hey, you guys could put that in the caption or in the description.
Okay, cool.
But and then the thing that we were working on forever,
for sure,
was the EA situation with Jufu.
Oh man, shout out to 8-Bit Bites. See, I got it. There's no tongue tied. No tongue tied.
He said no tongue tied. You know what I mean?
A gaming restaurant that we partnered with to do an event for EA. Actually with Jufu and EA and this group, it was amazing, brother. We kind of shut down the block, almost like a mini block party.
Yeah, that was
on the
crazy
mic the whole night.
That was crazy.
I was doing my stand-up thing.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, as soon as I pull up, Don with the mic. Yo, Mike. I'm like, my man doing hostings now. You know what I mean?
I'm available for hosting, bar mitzvahs, whatever you need.
But that was kind of crazy. I think for us. I don't know if you kind of want to speak on the evolution on how it started from one thing,
okay,
and then and it also kind of shows how we get that.
We did a deal with EA with 2021 for Madden 21. So one of our clients, Jufu, he did something with them, and he had a title song called "Just Do It." So he was the first music artist, to have his own character and jersey in the game. Till this day, it's still there, right? Fast forward now, they called us back because he had a song called All Time Great that they wanted to put in, and all the trailers, all the intros, all that stuff, all the promo they're gonna push. They wanted this song for it. you and I got on a call with them and with EA. Shout out to Ralphie, an amazing person. She definitely championed us of actually doing this, doing the content pieces, because we told her we could do it, because they were looking for content pieces to be done, but they didn't know how.
Right.
We essentially gave them the blueprint on what does that look like from A to Z, right? So we started that. Jufu essentially leaned in with the team. Shout out to Kaba, the creator, again. He was behind. He was one of the puppet masters behind that. And essentially, but the biggest thing for us was getting that type of partnership to roll it out with our team. So the basis is giving them the aspect of shooting something that's going to be rolled out nationally, and well, more than nationally, globally, and they were able to see the content pieces that came from it. Jufu definitely leaned in when it came to the aspect of the idea, where he wanted the direction for it to go, and he definitely put his foot in it all the way.
No, that's 100%. Jufu, like, you know, he's not. He's just an all around amazing individual as a person. I always say he's an international superstar.
You know
Tell his parents that. He's just super, super talented. So to see that, and then him with, you know, as far as with the team and what happened.
Yep.
You know what? And again, now from a company standpoint, what was huge was, like Don said, it was a partnership, and you know, a lot of people like to say these words, partnership and this and this and that, but that was something that came from their side. They kept saying, this is a partnership. We want you guys to understand this is a true partnership. So they gave us a lot of creative control on this side, which was amazing. You know,
we showed them what we could do.
Exactly. So it was like, hey, let's see some of the we had to send the kind of the quality of work that we do, and they were like, okay. And now from a business standpoint, this is something that you want to do, and now hopefully that leads into more.
For sure.
Right? Because it's like you give a lot right at the very beginning, because this is a great look as a company.
Yep.
Right? So this group partnered with EA. It's an amazing look for us, right? And you want to lean in and do more, especially that first one, especially when you're the new kid on the block. Hey, work with us. We got that. We're doing that. And then now, hopefully it's like, wow, you know, they already said we want to connect you with all of our people for these scenarios because of what we did. Peter told you, you guys working with you has been amazing.
It's been the easiest. The easiest process of working with us and an artist, because when they call to get like revisions and this and that, we're here doing that, as you know, making sure that they have all of those pieces done. And the biggest part for us was that we were able to put two of our influencers in our content creators in the actual piece, which was great. Which is, you know, one of our biggest, you know, Chiclet. He was in there. He had one of the most compelling scenes ever in life. He's gonna get an award one day on that. And then we had Oblox, which was amazing, because Jufu was like, you know, the fact that he was able to have his team in there was a big deal for him. He was like, you know, that's one of the biggest things that I'm happy that I had, you know, Chiclet and Oblox in there. And for us, that was a moment for us, because that's our trailer, right? So that rings true for us when people ask, yo, what have you done? And we showed them, like, well, from this standpoint, this is what we did for EA. That's it's on all their platforms. The music's on it. So we did the music, the content pieces, and all of that. And now we're getting ready to do some other things. So this is definitely one of the greatest accomplishments over the summer. That and the Paper Planes that it's been a dope opportunities thus far.
It's been nuts. In parentheses, it's Chiclet's birthday today.
Yeah,
too.
you know, no, shout out to my twin.
Saying?
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Right now he got his feet up, toes in the sand in Greece. You are?
He's chilling. He's chilling. But yeah, yo, bro, like this, it's crazy. It's crazy, and it's all about, you know, timing. And Don and I are individuals too that it's like, I'm sure as a lot of people either watching or whatever, it's like, or listening, you want things when you want things.
Sure. Right?
You having all these meetings and having all these conversations, and then we're talking, oh, this is going to be great. This is going to, and it's like, oh, but when is it going to happen? You know, you never know, because you're so excited about these things, and you got to kind of take a second, hold on,
and let it fall in. Yep.
Yeah, however it's going to be is going to be. And that's something that I've learned as we've gotten more busy, as we've gotten more business, as so many different things have happened. You know, you have to learn to adjust and protect yourself as far as your mental state, all of that, because it could get crazy. Because, you know, as managers, we're managers and also overseeing a company. So it's like, aside from our individual selves, aside from managing the talent and their individual selves, we're managing a company, and it could get crazy.
And the expectation on what does the magnitude of the company looks like, because there's no company like us.
Right.
There is, but there's not.
Right.
We have our own production studio, as you guys can see. We have our own production. Like, this is all our stuff. This is not rented. No shots at anybody.
Yo, my man taking shots.
Yo,
no disrespect, but disrespect.
And then we also house the talent, which, you know, we can't always please everybody, but we work just as much as they work. And that's another thing. What they say, you can't work as hard as you can't work harder as the person that's in that position. If we work harder than you, that's a shame. We got to pull you. So we're essentially creating we're housing, marketing, agency, media. We are all of these at the moment at a core 4 team. Shout out to John Roadhouse. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's another John. My bad, John. But John Roadhouse, you know what I'm saying? Our operations manager, and essentially we have the core 4, and we're really, taking on the world with what we have. So this is very interesting in how we building out the company and creating the next phase of what this looks like from a content creator space. And, shout out, I know we're not going to really be doing a lot of shout outs, but I'm going to say shout out to Mr. Beast. You know why? Because he has changed the way content creation looks for how content creation looks for the next 5 or 10 years. What he's doing allows us to now go into these companies and have conversations about our content creators, because we're able to now leverage certain things that we didn't even think of because of what they're doing. And I'm not saying that we're following it. We just always up on the new what's going on in the business aspect of content creators.
Yeah, and with him, I think a lot of his situation is that he looks at himself like a business. And a lot of influencers or creators, they don't. They look at themselves as just talent sometimes, and it's like, hey, whatever. But like what you're saying, he really showed that he is a business. His brand is a business. He handles himself like a business. He has so many different aspects and different avenues. You always hear about these multiple streams of income, and I get it, but it's like you got to start with one first. You can't sit there and be like, yeah, I want to have multiple. Yeah, I get that. Start with one, and that's what he did, and he built as far as Feastables, all of this. He even has like a gaming situation, right? And gaming, and I want leading into that. Yeah. There's so much money now in streaming as far as with what is it? It's Amp, right? Amp is doing a lot of stuff.
Kick, and Twitch. Clearly.
Twitch. You know what I mean? And it's like, when I was growing, I sound like the super old guy. When I was growing up, it was like, you had games. Yeah. Like you were playing games, and your parents would sit there and be like, oh, you're going to stay in front of the TV all day? And it's like, now kids could be like, yeah. I actually am going to stay in front of this all day because this is what I'm going to do.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing, too, as far as with stream with the kids. It's like they can say that, but it's like, do you have, the tenacity and the consistency to do that? It's not just about playing games.
But look at even like, what's his name, Aiden Ross? Like, he's talked the other day, he had a conversation, and he said, he made more than LeBron James because of how, the structure of his deal. That's crazy from a streaming standpoint. And then he turned himself into a content creator. So now and then he also had, a little hiccup with Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather, he had his camera on, and he said, yo, what platform is it going on to? Well, I need to get paid because you are. And at first people were, obviously Floyd messed up, but Floyd is right. This dude's getting paid millions of dollars. Well, if you're going to use my likeness for it, I need to get paid too. So let's have that conversation as well. So that's where this new age of streaming and content creation is going. I just think that the involvement from it, I think that we're going to be at one of the forefronts of it, because we're not just sitting at in the skybox. We're also the foot on the ground, and we're essentially helping to the landscape with the brown and black content creator. I hate even signaling us out that way, but at the moment, it's just where we're at. Yeah. Until we could get away from that brown and black conversation, like it's the brown and black, and then it's the others. I want it to be just content creation and content creators, because the word influencer is a great word, but it's being used for everything else. You can, content creator. Everybody can call themselves a content creator until you go on their page and really see. So right now, the concept of what that landscape looks like going forward in the next 5 to 10 years, I think we can definitely be a part of that next phase on how it looks, especially with the content creators that we have. I think they're going to start changing the culture because it usually comes from us, and I'm looking forward to that.
No, and the thing is too is that, again, speaking about how it is, and we could talk, and you can see all of these posts on all social media. This one's getting this amount of millions, like what you just said. Aiden was getting more than LeBron, and you see all of this money being made in not only streaming but out here with this new creator economy, and people think, and younger kids think that he did that, I can just do that.
Yeah.
You got to understand, you got to put the work in. It's not hey, I posted up I did 4 streams, or I did, I have, 2 minutes or I got a video and went viral and what's going on. It's like, now you got to keep doing that. And it's like, before you get to 1 million, anything, followers, subscribers, whatever, you got to start with 1.
Yeah, for sure.
As far as, again, with all of this money that's out there, that's cool, and it's great, and there's opportunities. It's just, you got to put the work in. And understand that you got to set yourself. You got to have the right people around you, and I don't mean to kind of come back to like us in our positions, but when you get to a certain point, you got to have a manager is probably the first person of your team that you start to have in your circle, because for us as managers, we do everything, right?
Yeah.
We're the Uber driver, we're the therapist, we're the publicist, we're all of that. We're all of that. Whatever is needed is that. But you got to have the right
moment, for sure.
You got to have the right people. Like, you can't sit there and hey, I want to be a streamer. It always starts with an idea. Great. Okay, this is what I want to do. Okay, what's the action that you're going to do? And then if you go and tell somebody, the person, they have to be kind of like your fuel as well.
For sure.
Because when you don't want to do it, they got to be like, yo, bro, you said that this is what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And it's real difficult nowadays on getting the right people around you, because people always want to be the guy. And I've spoken about this before. Everybody wants to be that guy. And that's why, like, I think for us, it doesn't matter who's the guy at the moment.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
We always say the Batman Robin. You could be Batman, I could be Robin, and vice versa. You know what I mean?
And it's never, and the thing is like I said, like even with that, like when people go, yo, do you and Myq, have money issues? And I'm like, yo, Myq and I never have money issues. And like, why is that? So because we're so transparent, and it doesn't. If Myq makes $100,000, I've made $100,000. If I've made $100,000, he's made $100,000. We don't have that aspect of what's the give me mine. It's a we thing, because that's where it takes us to the next phase of our career. Hence why we're able to scale the way we are, because we don't think about we think about us and how we can also inflict change with everybody else that we got around us to also help them get to the next level. So I love the way that we're scaling our business. We definitely have some ways to go, which is amazing.
Yeah.
It also, they said the journey to embrace it. Before, I was like, yo, we need to get there now. But I'm learning to embrace the journey more. I don't know if it's because of my birthday today, but I'm starting to embrace the journey and look at these. They say, like, pressure makes diamonds, right? Yeah. So even the pressures that do come, what comes out of it is up to us. And I think that whatever our diamond looks like, it's going to essentially shine brighter than the last one. Because there's going to always be something, bro. Yeah. There's going to always be some issue. There's going to always be some fire you got to put out. We put out a lot of fires. There's going to always be somebody that's going to be not happy about something. So there's going to always be something. And now that I'm learning to make sure that I'm able to take those energies when they do come and not take them personally. Because before I used to take them a little personal, like, yo, this person don't understand that we put the work in. But at the moment, they don't care about that. They only care about what's the issue, and you guys can help fix it.
Right.
So that's where I'm at with it. I'm ready to help fix whatever issue, but also help scale our business and help put it to the forefront. Shout out to Wes, our CFO.
Exactly.
Give you a shout out, Wes, our CFO. When we get popular, we got to pressure this guy. So you can start go pressure you, Wes.
He's gonna be a guest, Wes. So
he's
just
the money guy.
Be prepared. But the thing is that I think you gotta always remember to look at yourself as a business.
For sure.
If you want to be looked at as a business, you have to look at yourself like that. You can't look in the mirror and think that I'm like, and then you want people to give you money and handle, your brand as a business.
No, for sure.
So I think now, again, in learning about Don and myself, right, we're very active parents, right?
Yeah.
And we're into sports. Our kids
Shout
are
out
into
to
sports.
My kids.
I'm baseball. He's soccer.
No, I mean, it's actually football, but yeah.
Oh yeah, football. But we have 2 segments now. Again, this is our first episode.
Yeah.
We're coming up with a name for this one, right?
I like.
It's kind of like sliding. No, we're gonna get the slide one. It's sliding into the DMs.
Oh.
Right. Got to come up with a name. We're gonna work on that.
Slide into the DMs.
So we're sliding into the DMs, and this is gonna be kind of like
Yo Gotti song every time.
But it's a segment of it's going to be twofold, right? You can either we can look at the DMs that you send and questions or whatever.
Always questions.
But also what we're going to do today is some of the DMs that we've gotten and how they're either good or they're bad or they're horrible. Those that we're not going to mention the names, but I'll pull one up. So this is the baseball segment. We got to figure out the name, but it's sliding, right? So now let me slide up.
Slide.
Something. We're gonna figure it out. So now the
Slitty.
graphic comes. As I look for this, the graphic will come. Whatever Kaba and John decide to do for here, it'll slide right in. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Thank you, John.
Sorry.
Yo. See, just so you know, we're still from the culture.
That's what
man.
it should be. These are the cause pause dolls.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you don't have to put cause. So. All right, so this is an easy one.
Okay.
This is an easy one. Definitely not mentioning.
Don't mention the name.
Definitely not mentioning the name.
Okay.
They hit our company page
Oh.
at this group.
At
Inc.,
this group Inc.
Right. This is on
It's gonna be
Instagram.
over here somewhere.
Right. The DM was
What?
yo.
Oh yeah. Yo.
Now we don't know you, whoever that may be.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've gotten them personally. I've gotten those DMs personally. If you're trying to do something with someone in business, please don't say, yo, and even if I see you in a person.
For sure.
Yo, there has to be some sort of context after that. You could say, yo, what's going on, bro? Blah, 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 this and this and that. Please don't ever DM anybody, yo, unless you know them. Because a true person that handles themselves or a true business is not responding.
Yeah, for sure.
Just like we won't.
No.
We're not responding to yo. And that's kind of like a lesson. It's not that we think we're better than anybody. Also, we're trying to teach people. But the thing is that, not to say anything, but we're too busy to respond to everybody to say, hey, listen, next time you DM,
Mm-hmm.
What you should do is say, you could say, yo, it's not a problem. We yo.
We yo all day.
We yo all day.
Yeah.
Right? Yo, this is such and such. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm looking to do. This, And at least we sit there and look and say, oh, okay, I'm not telling you it has to be super professional, but please let us know why you're reaching out. Us and anybody else that you reach out to. So there's 2 things. Like if you reach out to anybody else and you're like, damn, nobody's responding, look at the way you're coming at them. It's the first impression. You're saying, yo.
Yeah, and I also hate, let me not say hate. I dislike, let's work.
That's another one.
That's enough. In the DMs, let's work. That's all they put.
Yeah.
Let's work. What are we working on?
We're already working.
We're already working. So, but I think because it's so nice and shiny and they see what we got going on, everybody wants to be a part of something, which is cool. Mm-hmm. But definitely come at us with a different type of perspective on, especially if you're pitching your business.
Yeah.
Less work means nothing to us.
Yeah. And again, not just with us. We're trying to tell you for anybody else, please don't reach out like that. Because they're probably not going to respond.
Yeah, the less work you can keep that. So
Exactly.
I'm the next big thing.
Yeah.
We get that too. Like I'm the next big thing out of my city, and then I look them up, and they have one video, and then the rest of it is them with mad guns with their people. I'm like, man, yeah, you're right. You're going to jail, buddy.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. But yeah, for sure. Let's have DM etiquette.
Correct.
Yeah, whatever
Correct.
that is.
So that's a little jewel for you as far as with that. And then
stay out my DMs with less work though. Anyway, go ahead.
And then this segment
is
going to be based off of the soccer world.
The football.
The football, soccer, whoever. Hopefully we international.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's soccer
that's why I said
or
football. You know what I'm saying?
Football today.
You know what I mean? Football.
It's called Goalkeeper.
Nah, man.
God by John, do whatever kind of graphic you want to.
It's gonna be down here.
Whatever. But this, and we'll do this with guests as well, but I think it's good for us.
Yeah. And just so you know, like Mike's real good at these like things like goalkeeper, and he has these like meanings. That has nothing to do with me.
This dude.
He runs it by me, but that is all my guy.
But Goalkeeper is a segment that I think, again, with guests, we'll clearly start with ourselves, is what's the goal that we want to do, a weekly goal for ourselves? And we can hold each other accountable so that we keep it.
For sure.
So that's why it's Goalkeeper. So I don't know if you want to go first. You want me to go first?
Yeah,
it's your birthday.
Yeah.
So I think you should go first.
Yeah, the black
what
man.
you think for
the black man go first. so I mean, I don't think it's a weekly goal at this moment for me. At this moment,
Not just this week. What do you want for this week?
Oh,
That's it. What you want? I don't care if it's iron your jean shorts. I don't. What's the goal? Shout out John Rojas.
John Rojas keeps saying that I iron my jean shorts like I'm back in '95
with creases.
With creases in it, right? Like I put starch on it. Remember back in the days you put starch on it? I'm not doing that, guys.
Yeah.
So
but something you want to achieve this week.
So not to get somber, tomorrow's would make the 17th year of my anniversary. My wife passed away last year, and I was dreading my birthday and my anniversary. And I prayed and asked God, and I said, hey, listen, I don't want to be sad for these 2 days. I don't want to have, because these days, especially these 2 days, were very exciting. One, the kids go back to school, and then my wife and I was more intrigued about my anniversary, aside from the birth of me. I don't know why, but I loved my anniversary. We had a ball. We just did things that we just didn't do. We had time to do. And I think my goal for this week was not to be somber. I wanted to make sure that I celebrated her, because my birthday was her fun time. Right. Like she always, what you did for me is what she would do. So he gave my earpods got messed up, and my brother got me some earpods, an early birthday gift, and that's what my wife would do. She would buy me some type of electronic I like, and it was like that was like her tradition. Like this phone is the phone that she purchased before she passed. So these are the things that, and it was already pre-ordered. Like these are the things that was already happening. So I asked God, I was like, listen, I'm definitely don't want to be sad for this week. I want to more so celebrate my union with my wife and for the next phase of my life. And that's essentially what this was. They say you get a year older, but I think that mindset of being old, it creates this stigma of like, I'm old and I can't do this and I can't do that. And I don't want that. I've been around some individuals that, that's why they say happy earth strong or whatever, stuff like that, because it's essentially you're getting stronger. You get that old man strength when you get a little older. So you get this different type of callus being made. So for this week, I was more so like, yo, listen, it would have been made 17 years my wife and I have been together. My goal is to keep, what us as a husband and wife wanted to keep, going for our kids and the success. Because she was here while I was building, And now that she's not, well, she's around
Right,
spiritually, but the aspect of where we're going, I want to just make her proud. So my goal for this week is continuously make her proud. It's the 7th on my birthday, and I'm at work, which I have no problems. I love it. And essentially, we are getting to the next phase of our careers and our lives. So the goal for this week for me, keeping my goal, I love it, goalkeeper. See, my man Mike is crazy. Goalkeeper. So I'm keeping the goal is not being sad, celebrating, like really celebrating my birthday in the sense of like being happy that it's my birthday, celebrating the fact that, tomorrow is my anniversary. It would have been the 17th year of my anniversary, but also celebrating my wife and just understanding that there's a plan for everything and appreciating it all. And that's, I think, I'm in that goalkeeping of like having the gratitude. I want to make sure I stay in that.
Yeah.
So that I may be a little bit long-winded, but I just wanted to give it a breakdown of why I'm so my gratitude.
Nah, bro.
And I think that's the goal for me, is to make sure I keep gratitude, especially this week.
Yeah, and that's and you gotta, like, I don't even want to take, my goal is definitely clearly not as intense. Like, it's hard to follow that up just because of how connected we are. All jokes aside, so however long pause that needed to be, you needed to get that out, and again, it's personal business. I'm gonna just keep it super short for me, as far as literally for us, the goal. I just want to have real efficient weekly calls with our talent. We started to set up these calls that we start next Monday. And it's something that I just want to make sure that we're good with that. We keep on that, and then also having these successful meetings that we have set up within the next week.
Yes, sure.
So that's kind of where it is on a business side, and I don't want to take too much time because, like I said, I think the energy as far as with this segment should be focused on that. Seriously.
I appreciate that.
I love you, bro.
Love you too, man.
You know what I'm saying? So,
but remember, the reason why we're successful has a heavily on our spirituality.
Yeah,
like
100%.
I want people to understand that. Like, the reason why we're successful is because it's heavy on that, and then it's everything else.
Yeah.
So then with speaking to most, or not speaking, well, watching and listening to most billionaires, or listening to them, they're very heavily on their spirituality. That's something that is the biggest thing for them. So I look at us, we're billionaires already, but soon to be like monetary. But anyway, but the concept of that is that we are heavily on that. Hence why the things that are happening. Some of it ain't perfect, but that's what makes us strong, bro. Our morning, our every 8:15, 8:20 call every morning for the last 3 years, we haven't missed it unless there's really been an emergency. And if we do, we make it up throughout the day, right? So
100%.
it's more of those things. So, this gratitude for me is definitely, I'm in gratitude with everything we got going on. Even coming inside into the space and just seeing what was going on. It's the gratitude, seeing Kaba, seeing John, seeing Juan, understanding that the concept of what we're building is bigger than just us. So
100%.
Gratitude.
So that's kind of our thing, right? That's episode 1. We're going to have
what I mean?
guests. So listen, we got more segments that we're going to work out, right? But just when you come on the show, just make sure you have a goal. I don't want to be wasting no time. I don't want, John, Juan, Gaba editing and cutting out that you got to think about your goals. So if you come on this show, make sure you have a goal for the week.
Yes.
So that's that. That's the first episode
episode
of
1.
Focus on the Stars.
FOTS.
FOTS, you heard.
The FOTS. It sounds like the FOTS, but it's not. The FOTS pod.
Nah, if you made
you
made it this far, appreciate you. We're gonna have more coming through. Follow the pod.
Yes.
At FOTS. Seriously, we be joking, but it's FOTS pod.
FOTS.
And it's Focus on the Stars. And you could follow Donovan.
Yeah.
At
this Donovan, like this Donovan.
Donovan.
Oh, sorry.
See,
well, just follow the page and you'll follow us, man.
Yeah, so this group Inc. We spoke about that.
This
and then
group Inc.
I'm this Myq, spelled MYQ.
MYQ.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys for watching.
Episode 1.
We'll see you on 2. Episode 2.
You know what I mean?
Peace.
Peace.